This is Kaylee Copeland with Equine Information Source, and today we are here with Sabrina Ibáñez. Sabrina Ibáñez was appointed FEI Secretary General in January 2015. She was elected President of the Association of Paralympic Sport Organizations in September of 2017. She's also a member of the IPC Governance Review Group, the IOC Gender Equality Working Group, and the ASOIF Diversity and Gender Equality Consultative Group. Sabrina Ibáñez holds a bachelor's degree in Science and Communications and History from Boston University and a diploma in Sociology, Politics, and Management of Sport Science from the Universities of Lausanne, Leicester, and Montpellier. Ibáñez, who has been with the FEI since 1991, has previously held the positions of FEI Director, Governance and Executive Affairs, Human Resources, Finance and Administration Coordinator, Sports Administrator, and Manager of the Secretary General's Office. Thank you so much for being here with us today, Sabrina.
Thank you for having me, Kelly. It's a real pleasure.
How has the COVID-19 pandemic and the cancellation of many FEI events impacted Olympic and Paralympic team selection?
So we were very fortunate that all qualifications for the Olympic Games and the Paralympic Games had already taken place before the 11th of March, which is when the World Health Organization declared a global pandemic. So on that side, equestrian sport is really, really fortunate. The individual quotas and the team quotas have been set. Horses combinations need to achieve a minimum eligibility requirements. Normally, it would have been from the 1st of January 2019, all the way leading up until June of last year. So what we did is we decided that to prolong that period. Now, those who have achieved the minimum eligibility requirements already within that period, they will need to do what we've called a confirmation result. And that is really just to ensure that the horse and the human are both fit to compete, just to make sure they still have their ball in the game, if you want. So that needs to take place all the way up to 21st of June. Those that were unable to achieve their minimum eligibility requirements because of COVID-19, then they too have the opportunity to achieving these all the way up to the 21st of June 2021. So there'll be a confirmation result for those that achieve them, and then the other ones have more of an opportunity to do it. When it comes to para, now for para, the situation is that they need to be internationally classified with this status, which they called a confirmed sport class. And if they have achieved this already by this year, by the end of this year, and it's provided that the review status is only in December of next year, then they can compete. And we have also prolonged this to the 5th of July to 2021. So on that scale, we're in pretty good shape compared to many other sports.
How does the FEI work with each country to ensure minimum standards for FEI sanctioned competition?
So what we've done here is that we have created what we've called the FEI policy for enhanced competition safety. And this takes in discipline-specific guidelines. Now, this does not overrule domestic health policies that may be in place, but it assists the organizers to make sure that they are thinking about other measures, because each discipline is different. You'll have, for example, for endurance, you'll have a lot of people at the vet gate, so we want to ensure that there's the appropriate social distancing. So there's all sorts of recommendations that are very discipline specific. One thing also that we've done is that we really need to make sure, again, that not only the organizer, the national federation, that they follow these guidelines, but also that the athletes, their entourage, the officials, the vendors, the volunteers, because we all have the collective responsibilities to ensure the safety of everybody. So that's what we're doing. So it doesn't replace the domestic, but it actually does enhance it more and provide more, and it also gives a table as well for them to perform a risk assessment on what they put in place, make sure they go through the checklist. And as things are progressing, we are updating them a little bit more, also looking at protocols regarding distribution of prizes and all sorts of stuff.
With the pandemic forcing you to rework your competition schedule and cancel many events, how will this affect qualifiers for any upcoming international competitions?
Well, when it comes to bid submissions, we are in a pretty good, we have been doing quite a bit of reshuffling because of this COVID-19. we have had to cancel, together with the organizing committees and the national federations, some of the championships. But basically, this is really done with the organizers committee. They really think about it themselves first, and then they talk to us. So there has been a lot of reshuffling, seeing if we can reschedule stuff to next year. For instance, this year we were supposed to host the World Endurance Championship, which is an event that is 160 kilometers. And we realized that this was not going to be possible. It wouldn't be a level playing field with travel restrictions and whatnot. So together with the organizer, we agreed that the best way forward was to postpone these championships to 2021. And in order to because the situation is what it is, we have also recently agreed that to freeze qualifications by another 9 months, so that people don't have to requalify for these championships. So these are some of the measures that we are taking to cater to the problem that's at hand.
What has the public response been to the cancellation of FEI level events?
They're very disappointed, obviously. But I mean, everybody knows that this is not unique to equestrian sport. This is happening everywhere. So there is understanding. But I mean, everybody wants to get back on the saddle. Everybody wants to go to shows. So, I mean, it is very difficult, but everybody is truly incredibly understanding. And what they really want to make sure is that when we do go back, that everybody is safe, and that the welfare of the horse, the athlete, and everyone is the most important.
How do you mitigate travel restrictions currently placed on certain countries?
We do have in our rules specifics. Like, for instance, a championship has to have a number of national participants. We go through the enhanced return to competition risk assessment, and then we decide with the organizer whether or not we can go ahead with these championships.
How have world rankings in each discipline been affected by COVID-19?
So when it comes to jumping, eventing, dressage, and para-dressage, what we first did is actually we looked at jumping, because jumping is the biggest one, right? So we had the Longines ranking points, and it goes on a rolling calendar, right? So what we decided to do with that was actually, first of all, prolong the rankings that you have earned month by month until the situation gets normal, shall we call it? Okay, so whatever you got, you keep. And the 30 best ranked positions always remains on the top. So we're just prolonging it. And if you earn some in this COVID period, that's fine. So if you go to competitions and you still earn some rankings, that's fine. And you just prolong what you have for each month until we decide that the situation has got a lot better. So that's what's been done for the Olympic and the Paralympic disciplines as well. So dressage and eventing, and as I mentioned, para-dressage. And then for the non-Olympic disciplines, since it is during a fixed period, that remains unchanged. But we believe that it's what we have come up with makes a lot of sense, and I think people are very happy with the solution going forward.
What has been the financial impact on the FEI due to the cancellation of events from COVID-19?
First of all, 3 years ago, we were lucky that we did a major financial risk assessment exercise. And we started really saying, okay, we need to look at this organization. What happens if something really big happens, when there are no Olympic Games? So we really started building on our reserves, which was a very good thing to do. And so in the beginning of COVID, we were like, okay, it would look like we may have a loss of 26 million if we're not careful. So what we did is we really cut to the essential. We decided to only work on projects that we need to work on now at the FEI. So everything that was nice to have, put it on the back burner, or let's revisit another day. So we reduced the budgets for 2020 considerably. Another thing that we did, and we're very fortunate to be based in Switzerland, is since there's less competition and there's less events going on, we put our staff, 60% of our staff, on partial unemployment. And this is subsidized, if you want, by the Swiss government. So that has been very helpful. And then us at top management, we've all taken a pay cut. So now we're looking at a projected loss of maybe 8 million Swiss francs. So it's a heck of a lot better.
Thank you so much for being here with us today, Sabrina. We really, really appreciate it.
Thank you, Kaylee.